The Princess and the Dark Lord, a forbidden love story. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're diving into a tale of rebellion, destiny, and a love that defies all expectations. Imagine a world where light reigns supreme, a kingdom of laughter and endless summer. That's where our story begins, with Princess Lily. But Lily wasn't your typical princess. She was bright, spirited, and utterly uninterested in the parade of eager princes vying for her hand. She craved a deeper connection, not a political arrangement. So when commanded to marry the pompous Prince Valerius to secure a new alliance, Lily made a choice that would change her life forever. Instead of accepting a life that felt like a guided cage, Lily chose freedom. She left the sunlit kingdom, not banished, but of her own accord, driven by a yearning for something more authentic. Her only possession, a small enchanted locket, became her compass, as she found herself inexplicably drawn to the shadowed lands beyond the Whispering Peaks, the forbidden domain of Malakor, the Dark Lord. Now, tales painted Malakor as a ruthless tyrant, a sorcerer of immense powers, with eyes like frozen midnight and a heart as cold as his obsidian fortress. But Lily, with a spirit bolder than most, felt an irresistible pull towards the very mystery that terrified others. Perhaps, in this land of shadows, she could finally find the truth and freedom her sunlit home had denied her. The Shadowlands were like anything she had ever known, stark, until beautiful in a dark, mysterious way. Here, they had hummed with a different kind of magic, one of deep shadows and hushed secrets. After days of arduous travel, facing treacherous terrains and eerie silence, her provisions dawdling, she finally reached the formidable obsidian fortress, Black Spire. It loomed against the twilight sky, a monument of power and solitude, far grander and more desolate than any tales had described. Gaining entry was surprisingly less about brute force and more about wits. Exhausted but determined, Lily used her innate cleverness and courage to bypass shadowy guards, eventually finding herself deep within the fortress's cold, echoing halls. Just as she was cornered by two imposing armored figures, Malakor's elite guard, a voice, deep and resonant like thunder, commanded them to halt. Malakor emerged from the shadows. He was undeniably handsome, his features sharp and aristocratic. His hair fell over eyes that, while cold, held a flicker of something ancient and weary, rather than purely malicious. He wore a long, dark cloak that seemed to flow like liquid shadow, adding to his enigmatic presence. He regarded Lily not with anger, but with an unnerving, calculating gaze. "A princess trespassing in my domain." His voice was low, captivating. "Tell me, why have you risked so much to come to a place everyone else fears?" Lily, surprisingly unafraid, despite her exhaustion, met his gaze with defiance. "I sought freedom, and perhaps a truth that doesn't fit neatly into fairy tales. Everyone blames you for every ill. I'm here because there's nowhere else for me to go." Malakor let out a low, humorless chuckle, a sound that held a surprising depth of melancholy. The world is quick to assign blames to the shadows. His response was unexpected. He led her not to a dungeon, but to a vast shadowed chamber filled with ancient scrolls, arcane artifacts, and forgotten constellations charted on the ceiling. He possessed a staggering intellect, speaking of cosmic alignments and forgotten histories, revealing a depth beyond the simple Dark Lord Malakor. Lily found herself drawn into his world, intrigued by his vast knowledge and the profound solitude that seemed to cling to him like a second skin. Days turned into weeks. Malakor didn't imprison her. He allowed her to roam Black Spire, always under silent watch. They spoke for hours, often late into the perpetual twilight that was his domain. Lily discovered he wasn't cruel, but burdened by a solemn ancient purpose, perhaps a forgotten oath to maintain a cosmic balance, or a complex magical task that required his isolation and control over shadowy elements. He showed a glimpse of his true power, not in destruction, but in manipulating shadows to create intricate fleeting beauty, or shaping the very earth with a thought. She saw the profound loneliness in his eyes, the weight of centuries of misconceptions. He, in turn, was fascinated by her unwavering light, a genuine curiosity, and an utter lack of fear. She brought a splash of color into his monochrome world, a warmth he hasn't felt in ages, a connection that broke through his solitude. She also observed the half-human creatures in his room, some with horns like twisted branches, others with scaled skin, and found them to be guardians of ancient places, keepers of forgotten lore, living in a quiet, dark harmony, entirely unlike the monstrous tales. Then, a new crisis emerged. Malakor revealed that the luminous orb, a relic he had no interest in himself, had indeed been stolen by a rogue sorcerer, a minor, ambitious figure named Volard, who sought to upset the delicate balance between light and shadow. This threat was far greater than a mere theft. It could destabilize both their kingdoms. Malakor had been quietly investigating this, but had chosen to remain silent to avoid mass panic. Lily found herself falling in love with this complicated, misunderstood man. His darkness wasn't evil, it was profound, ancient, and deeply solitary, a necessity for his duty. His reputation as Dark Lord was a shield, a consequence of his lonely purpose. Together, using Lily's knowledge of the orb inherited magical signatures and Malakor's understanding of intricate hidden energies, they tracked the true thief. Their combined powers, light and shadow, working in harmony, easily defeated Volard, who crumbled white-faced with true balanced power. The luminous herb was tragically reclaimed. Returning the luminous herb to the sunlit kingdom, Lily faced her worried family and the still skeptical court. She told them the truth, not just about the orb's return, but about Malakor and the beautiful misunderstood creatures of his realm. Many were still hesitant, their fears hard to dislodge. Prince Valerius, looking even more foolish, tried to reclaim her hand, but Lily merely smiled, her gaze far away. Lily knew the world wouldn't change its mind overnight, but her heart had found its true home. She returned to Blackspire by choice, as a willing companion, finding her true place beside the man who understood her spirit and in the land that truly accepted her. She didn't abandon her light, nor did Malakor abandon his shadow. Instead, they found a way to bridge their worlds. Their love was a testament that true understanding often lies beyond appearances, that courage is found not just in battle but in empathy, and that even in the deepest shadows, light can find a home, and love can bloom like an obsidian rose, rare, unique, and profoundly beautiful. What do you think about Lily's choice? Would you have dared to venture into the Dark Lord's domain? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more epic tales. See you guys in my next video.